Right, so this is the 242 old main shaft. What we're doing here, turn this up. There it is, and okay, so you've got oil right there with the snap. Not that that would make a difference. It's the thrust washer that it's got to go back together. So that's the snap ring. And then this is the thrust washer. And I think what they're trying to say is that the oil, you can see the oil outlet maybe to oil inside the bearing, I'm not sure. Then the thrust washer, it doesn't matter on the shaft, does it? The thrust washer doesn't matter. Well, that's interesting. So here's your new HD shaft. It's got looks like the oiler is different. Let's see. So anyways, we've got to get the sleeve off. So first step, I'm gonna take that snap ring off right there, and you can see it's open right near the oil inlet or outlet. I'll get back to you. Okay, the oiler, come on, mama jamma, if I can find it. Anyways, the locator's right where my thumb is at. It's 90 degrees to the oil inlet on this shaft. But all that is, that's the locator for the intermediate sleeve. You can see the notch in it. And that apparently exposes a snap string. Yes, it does. Right there, you can see it. Right there's the snap ring. That's going to release the old main shaft from the planetary gear assembly. Alright, after that snap string, look at that. There's your two snap rings. Okay. Probably use that in some sort of fashion. Yep, comes right off. Now they're talking about losing needle bearings in here. I don't see any needle bearings in this one. I'm not sure what that means or no. Oh, I spied them all. You can see the needle bearings right there. So I'm guessing here's the new shorter shaft, but that's where all the needle bearings will go. We'll grease this, move all these over to here, and then we can get, look at the difference. Dang, son. This is again a Tom Woods 242 HD shaft. Looks like it's the same. These are bearing races. Shaft thickness looks the same up through here. It's just the output goes to 30 something. I forget how many splines, but it's got all the splines. So, boom, there's your race, roller bearing race. Down here is your shoulder. You can see recess, a recess race. You'd think it's snap ring or something. Thanks, G2. And then you'll see right here is the same sort of race, not quite the same. Now, what was there was this. They're got them stacked the same way right now. So that's going to go back on there with some assembly lube. There it is, engine assembly lube. And so I'm going to clean the shaft up a little bit, do some lube, and then put her back together. So I'm just going to grease this surface, some grease, assembly lube, so that the roller bearings all stick around it, and make sure that you've got complete roller bearing set. And then I'll set the camera to slide the planetary gear assembly back on to the HD shaft. Okay. There it goes. Now you tell me. This should slide down. It should. Both fingers keeping pressure on each side, trying to do location. Damn, that thing stretches like a... Should be able to. It's not down, and you better make sure it's damn down. That's all I'm telling you. I'll use this one. You want it to be snapped in place, or you won't like coming in last place. There it's down. There it's down. And I saw it snap back into the ring. Here's the snap ring being back down in there. Ooh, right? So that means what I can do is if all things are well and good, this bad boy will spin in place, no problem. Feels real good.
These are races, you can see. There's the...
Forget what they call it. Oh. Aha, look at there. That's the thrust washer. I thought that was part of this shaft. Is there oil grooves? There are slight oil channels. So look, you've got a V-notch here and here, and it's cut down there. So that would oil this. That's an oil channel. And here's an inlet right here. So this needs to go over this here. And it doesn't matter. This rotates. So that doesn't really matter. I think it just comes around. So you've got a thrust washer right like that in the notch. So that doesn't matter. This is for on the input side. That slides into another set of planetary gears on the input side. And then this sleeve, if I recall, was up. This was up, I believe, so this would be down, I think. So this would slide this way and down into here. And then this would be like a mode, see? Up here, this would be free. And then this collar is going to lock this to this output shaft. Boom, see? Now the output shaft is locked to the planetary. That's fine. So this just rotates. There's no need to align an oil channel or anything. Just the thrust washer on top. Obviously, it would be. This could go another way, but I mean, you could flip this over, and then you wouldn't like life very much. And then I don't like having that there, but it maybe this was 90 out of course, the thrust washer and oilers. I mean, it's a damn snap ring. If you're dependent on oil getting through and a snap ring being in this position, then that's just wrong. But we're just going to put her on like that. Don't depend on the position of a snap ring is what I'm trying to say, y'all. Okay. Snap. Okay. Look. There she is, boys. To finish Frankencase today, I'm going to do this next, is pull the shift forks and mode forks, that assembly, out of the front of the 242. That reminds me I should buy a new one of these. This is the position sensor for what mode your case is in. I'm going to pull them out, and this assembly, the mode fork, shift fork assembly, goes with the front of the 249. The bearings for the front of the 249 input and front output are on their way. When I have that, we'll yank the case, the 249 out. So I need to pull these out, and the rest of that case can go back. This main shaft here goes back to Tom Woods, along with the tail housing, speedometer housing. This will go in somebody else's 242 standard duty conversion. That's the heavy duty. Standard duty. There's a good side by side for you. I tried the Easy Out with vice grips. I tried the Easy Out with fail for the roll pin. I put the pin all the way up to there, and then pried with a pry bar, and there's a roll pin. So what should be damaging is up in there, and I'm trying to figure out, yeah, see, because that's pinned. You'd never get this into the new case as a unit. You'd be damaging that. I'm doing a case swap, so this front part is useless to me. I'm not 100% sure what all parts. I'm pretty sure because of the gear cut on a front case, you've got this gear cut, which is a newer gear cut. I'm pretty sure you have to use this off the 249. This is the front half of a 249, and this is the beginning build process to a Frankencase. Frankencase meaning it's a front case swap. Clean the case, and the back half of a 242 and all the guts will go on it with a Tom Woods HD SYE kit. So it's down, that ring is still in there, and that's it. It's an empty case. So I'm going to put the input bearing, main bearing in, and the front output bearing in. Bearing came with a essentially snap ring or C-clip, and that goes towards the top, goes in there like this, and goes tap down or press down from the top. Okay, I use the old bearing, set it on this race, and beat on the old bearing, not beat, tapped. Tap around, tap, 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 and work it around, and it'll sit down. These come with a lot of grease in them. I wouldn't suggest cleaning it out. It's got grease in there for a reason. So here is the front output. This is the seal race. So you got to turn the case over. And then this bearing is the front output. I've heard some of them have a flat edge and a rounded edge. This one is a symmetrical bearing. There are marks right here, so I'm going to put those this way. It almost goes in, and then there'll be a snap ring. So let me tap that in. The bearing is on the race here, and on the back side you got room for the C-clip. Let's put that in now, which is in the way they came out. You can see the opening is here, not over here, just the way it went in. I want to show you the whole reason I'm doing a Frankencase. Okay, here, look at the gear cut. See the deep groove is flat at the bottom. This is the 242, and if you notice, the gear cut is deeper, and so you might be tempted to try and use the planetary gears out of the 242, but you can't. This is a late model, after 94.5. This is an early model, and I need the input shaft from the 249 to mate to my ZJ. So the planetary gear has to go in here. Now it's got to go in there prior to putting in the mode and shift forks. So what I have to do here to get 242 ones in, there's that little hole. That allows you to, see it's missing, it allows you to get there's the 242. I decided, because I didn't need the front half of the case of 249, I tried to easy out it wouldn't easy out. Now that I've got it out, I can tap that roll pin out, then I can get the shaft down in here, and with the hole drilled from the outside of the case, I can tap the roll pin in. So what I'm going to do now is drill that hole based off of the location from the 242. Okay, this camera is starting to suck. There is the roller pin, and there's the shift, the actual fork arm down here, and that's the way the flat is on the shaft.